Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Unit 2, Lesson number 1. In this lesson, we will look at the letter Jim. The letter Jim is part of a family of 3 letters sharing the same shape. The shape is a curved shape and looks like an upside down number 2 in English. All 3 letters have a curved shape which looks similar to an upside down number 2. The letters have different number of dots in different positions to distinguish between them. The letter Jim is pronounced by pushing the middle of the tongue against the upper palate of the mouth. The sound of the letter Jim is similar to the sound of J in English as in the word jam. J in Jim and J in jam are very similar sounds. The way we identify the letter Jim and distinguish it from the other letters in its family is by the 1 dot inside the curve or the belly of the letter Jim. And it can also appear beneath the letter Jim when it's written in the beginning or in the middle of a word. Now let's listen how to pronounce and see how to pronounce the letter Jim. Ja, ji, ju, ja, ji, ju. So as we saw in the video, the letter Jim is pronounced by pushing the middle of our tongue against the upper palate of our mouth. And when we pronounce the Jim with a fatha, the short vowel fatha, which is above the letter Jim, it makes the sound ja. When we pronounce the Jim with a kasra, which is beneath the letter Jim, and makes an E sound, we say ji. And when we pronounce the dhamma, which is the curly shape above the letter Jim, and makes an U sound, is pronounced ju. For the long vowels, the sounds are similar but stretched and elongated. So with the alif, which is a stretched version of the fatha, we say ja. With the ya, which is a stretched version of the kasra, we say ji. And with the waw, which is a stretched version of the dhamma, we say ju. When writing Jim in the beginning of a word, it appears like this, with the link ready to connect onto the next letter in the word. Like in the word jabal, the Jim is connected to the ba after it in the word jabal. In the middle of a word, the Jim appears with a link on both sides as it's a fully connected letter. Like in the words najm and rajul, the Jim is connected to the letters before and after it. And in the end of a word, the Jim appears with the link before it if it's connected to the previous letter, or by itself if it's after a semi-connected letter. Like in these words, hajj, the Jim is connected to the ha before it, or in the word taj, where the Jim is after an alif, which is a semi-connected letter, so it's by itself, or in the word burj, where the Jim is also by itself because it's after the ra, which is also a semi-connected letter. Here the Jim is used with a fatha in a word and makes the ja sound in the word jabal, which means mountain. Here it has a kasra and makes the ji sound in the word jidar, which means wall. And here it has a dhamma and makes the ju sound in the word jund, which means army. With long vowels, the Jim followed by an alif makes ja, like the word jar, which means neighbor. With a ya, it makes the E sound, G, like in the word Jim, which is the name of the letter. And with a waw, it makes an U sound, Ju, like in the word Ju', which means hunger. So to summarize the letter Jim, with the fatha, it makes Ja. With a kasra, it makes Ji. With a dhamma, it makes ju, and by itself, or with a sukoon, it makes a j sound. With a long vowel alif, it makes the sound ja. With a long vowel ya, it makes the sound ji. And with the long vowel waw, it makes the sound ju. Used in words, with short vowels, we have jabal, jidar, and jund. And with long vowels in these words, jar, jim, and ju'. When writing Jim in the beginning of a word, it appears like this, with the link after it to connect onto the next letter. In In the middle of a word, it appears like this, with a link before and after it, as it's a fully connected letter. And in the end of a word, it appears with a link before it or by itself, depending on the previous letter. So this is the letter Jim.